Alright, so here's the backup camera that I bought. I'm actually doing a little bit of modifying with it because this is not going to be mounted on a car. It's actually going to be mounted on a motorcycle. So I got the reverse camera here that I got to mount on the back. And that already is going to have the connection here that goes on to the top of the mirror. Here, let me show you. See, there's connections there, so it's actually going to go in here. So it's already going to be getting power from the cord. Now, here, let me show you. This is the actual cord that you use to get power. It connects to a cigarette lighter. But since I'm going to be using a motorcycle, I don't have a cigarette lighter. So I went ahead and cut that off. I got the positive and negative here, red and black. I'm going to connect the positive to the battery, probably put a switch in between the negative to the battery, and I'll have my positive and negative. I'm not going to fucking connect the wire that goes to the reverse because in the actual video footage that I've seen, the field of view on the camera when you're looking at everything behind you, because it lets you see behind you and in front of you at all times. So the field of view behind you is huge. You can see a lot of things around you. But when you switch into reverse, everything compresses and it becomes smaller because it wants you to see just directly behind you for you to back up your vehicle. The lines come up and show you if you're getting closer to something. I don't want that. I want to see everything around behind me at all times. So I will not be connecting the reverse, and it'll just be showing the front camera and the back camera, depending how I want it, or just the back camera, which is mainly what I'm going to be using it for anyway. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm not liking how this system that I set up on the windshield to hold the monitor was set up. I didn't like it. So I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go ahead and use this piece of 4-inch PVC, and I'm going to mold it to create pretty much like a box around this camera, and I'm going to be using that onto the windshield. So just giving you guys a heads up on the next steps I'm going to do here, and let's see how this works out. Alright, so I'm starting to get it flattened out, as you can see there. And the next step will be to figure out a way to get this mounted on there. I'm going to have to cut out holes so that way I can mount it on just like if it was mounting onto an actual rear camera. I'm going to use the straps that go onto the hooks. I'm just going to end up cutting out holes where the hooks are. So I'm going to end up having to cut a hole here, 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 and there. I'm also going to have to end up cutting out a hole here in this area because that's where the plugs are going to come through and they're going to plug in. And then I'm actually going to fold this up and fold this part up so that way it's kind of like inside of a little box. So stay tuned. Oh, also, one more thing I wanted to mention. So actually, I have this backwards. Let me put it the other way around because don't worry about it. It's all going to get cleaned. It's going to have to get spray painted. And also, not only that, the last thing, because this has a front-facing camera, it can't see through the PVC. So once I got all the holes cut out the way that I need them, I will be cutting out a square area here of PVC. And I'm going to use something clear, maybe like plastic from a Coke bottle or something like that. Something clear that the camera will be able to see through. And I'll hot glue it onto the PVC there. Or silicone it onto the PVC there. So that way the camera can both record forward and use the camera for the back. But once everything is done and cut up, it should be, you know, inside of a box pretty much. And I'm going to probably paint it all black so it looks nice and matches the bike. But that's where I'm at so far. Alright, so I got it cut flat. I got these lines marked there. The middle line on all four sides is where I'm going to be cutting a hole. The holes are made for the legs on all four sides of this monitor, so it can go through and it'll be able to strap over. So that's where I'm at now. Also, you see that square there? That square there is cut out for the camera. So let's go ahead and get moving. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. I got the holes. Still need to do the hole for the camera. That's why you see that it's at an angle there like that. Once I do the hole, it should sit flush. But I will have to do a mount on the back since it's completely flat. And I have an idea for that too. So I'll check in with you in a little bit. Alright, so this is pretty much the final mount. I have it all glued together. And I have it. I have the holes drilled out for the camera part, which is that square right there. With the holes for the four legs of the actual monitor. On the back here, you see those two screws right there in the middle. On the back here, I got a bracket, so I'll be able to connect this directly to the windshield. In that case, I'm not going to need any kind of screen right here. Camera will just poke through, and since this is about a little bit longer than what the camera pokes through, it'll just see right through the windshield. Now, of course, I have a smoked windshield. Of course I have a smoked windshield, but I've still seen videos through smoked windshields that still look fine. Either way, I'm mostly using the camera so I can see what's behind me. Whenever I record the videos I do record, I mean, maybe I'll get some recordings of whatever happens in front of me, but for the most part, it'll be, you know, what happens behind me. And so if you see here on the top, this is where the wires are going to be coming through to connect to the camera. I'm going to go get me one of those rubber grommets that they sell at the auto parts store, so that way I can run my wires through. And pretty much all it needs now is paint. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of sanding and get it painted. This will be all black next time you see it, and should be ready to be mounted on. So here we go. Alright, so it's done. First and foremost, the windshield turned out to be a complete piece of garbage. I'll get to that here. I'll show you. The windshield actually grabs onto the handlebar here and here. And no matter what I did with the windshield, no matter how much I tightened it up, the windshield will still move depending on how much wind was coming at me. So what I did was I decided to X out the window. I'm going to go ahead and have that for sale. See if somebody else wants to use that windshield. The actual plastic of the windshield is very good, but you know, the mount on it did not hold, and I kind of like the way the bike looks without the windshield more. So since I made this little box here for my camera, I went ahead and bungee corded it. As you can see, the bungee cords here, I have it bungee corded onto the bracket, and I have it in a way that it's not supposed to be going anywhere. It's pretty tight on here, so it should be good. And then of course I have the wires running through. I still got to get the rubber grommet there, but I mean, for now I can rock this until I decide a better way to do it. I still do like the way it came out because I can easily remove it by removing the bungee cords and storing it. My saddlebags came in, so I'll be doing saddlebags there soon, and I'll be able to remove this system and just throw it in my saddlebag when it starts raining. So that's a good thing. But let me show you. So the first thing is we got the camera mounted right there. Well, we got the wires running. Like I mentioned, they're running underneath here. I'm going to do something to tuck this wire in a little more, but for now it doesn't bother me. It's going to run through here. Runs underneath there, has the connection down under the seat. There's more wires running underneath through here. And as you can see right here is where it comes out. Have it running up and going up in there. So I have a kill switch down here, which I'm not going to show you where it is. But let me go ahead and sit on the bike. Alright, let me find this little kill switch I got. then you should see it power on. Alright, so this is set to record behind me right now. So I'll put my hands there behind me somewhere. I can't reach the back. Hold on. See my fingers? So I can see everything behind me. And then I can also see both visions if I want, front and back. Or I can see in front of me. And then if I go this, oh, also another thing I wanted to show you guys, if I want to adjust, see, I can adjust which way the camera looks, up or down, but I want it to look down as far as it goes. And then over here, yep, let me do it with this finger. Over here I can adjust my brightness. If it's too bright at night, I can dim it down, or I can put it all the way up. It automatically sets up to time and date. You can adjust it as well. And then if I go here, I think left. Is it left? Oh no, it's right. There you go. It should go to my recordings. And I can go ahead and choose them. I can play them if I press and hold. Well, I gotta get used to it, but I know I can press and hold and I can delete them. So if you listen to it, it's actually talking. You're hearing my voice. So this is the final video. Let's go ahead and get out of there. This is the final video. This is the final shot. I will turn on the bike. Well, I can't turn it on because I'm going to make too much noise in here. But I have it set up so when I turn my bike off, I hit my switch that I have hidden down here. And you see how that dimmed down, and then in a couple seconds, it will automatically power off. And there you go. So one more thing I wanted to mention, it does have like a shock sensor. So if somebody starts moving my bike around, it will automatically start recording. But for now, this is what I got. And I'm cool with it. Until next time, you'll see the saddlebags get mounted on next.